You know the difference between a hustler and a good con man? Hustler has to get out of town as quick as he can. But a good con man, he doesn't have to leave until he wants to. Hi.
Evening.
Two things we never joke about here in Diggstown, Mr. Kane. Our boxing and our betting.
I never heard of no Honey Roy Palmer.
Could take on any 10 of you in a day.
Nobody can take 10 men.
Any 10, any day.
I'd bet 1,000 on it.
But would you bet $2,000 on it?
I got $10,000 against your 1,000.
How's about your $100,000 against my $10,000?
You're not serious.
Roy's in, right? I mean,
I haven't asked him yet.
I know you're here to try and pitch me on something, but I'm off the con, man. I'm out. Complete. Forever. Huh?
All right.
What do you mean, all right?
I mean, if you're not interested, you're not interested.
Pick me up at 8.
How old is this boy?
48.
10 men in 24 hours? He ain't gonna last 10 seconds.
Now, you fighters, you do exactly what I say, you make $1,000.
Emily, I need your help. Kind of information that can get you killed.
Dear Lord, give us the strength to tear this man from limb to limb.
Mr. Banks Records Guillaume owns the whole town.
What's up with these buzzbeats?
I'm thinking of upping our side bet to an even $250,000.
Who's next?
You!
Ouch. Getting old on me. Go 15 rounds. You're wheezing like an old goat.
I don't know what's worse, fighting him or listening to your mouth.
Fight! You want to bet? Let's bet. $1.5 million, or I forfeit and you can kill me right now.
Come on, boy, get up. It ain't over with yet.
Okay, look. He's bigger than you are. He's tougher. He's faster. He's younger than you are. He hasn't fought 22 rounds today, but you remember this. You are black.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to inspire you. You know, it's a roots kind of thing.
He seems awful mad. Did you tell him he was black?
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield. Now you motivate me. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister, and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margot D. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. I'm just walking 12 German Shepherds all by myself.
She could break her elbows doing that. We are dorking out about 1992's Diggstown. R.I.P. Louis Gossett Jr. He passed away, I think, last week. And this
on my birthday.
On your birthday. That makes it sad. That's not how you wanted to celebrate. No, not at all. And I don't know. This is one of my favorite performances of his. So I was like, we should cover Diggstown. So here we are. It's directed by Michael Ritchie. It's written by Stephen McKay. It's based on a book, which I didn't even know, The Diggstown Ringers by Leonard Wise. And it stars James Woods. We did a whole episode on him on What a Creep. If you're like, he sucks, like, we get it. We go find that episode. But he is a really good actor, and he's in this. Louis Gossett Jr., Bruce Dern, and Treasure, Oliver Platt. All hail Oliver Platt in this movie. He's so great, always.
When is he not good?
Always good.
Always brings it. Always makes it real. It's just, yeah.
I love him. And Heather Graham, a very young Heather Graham. She's 22.
Baby Heather Graham, who was dating James Woods at the time.
Gross.
Ugh.
He was literally twice her age. He was 44. And if you're wondering, I did look it up. Apparently, they broke up because she said she didn't want to get married or start a family until she was 40. And then he said, how do you know you'll still get the same attention from men when you're that age? And then she broke up with him.
He also told a story to Howard Stern about he basically insulted her intelligence. Yeah. So he's a real peach.
Yeah, but again, he's a good actor, and he's great, and I really like this movie. So we're just dealing with that right up front. I already know the answer to this. Margot did not see this in the theater. This is a first time watch for her. I didn't see it in the theater either. This was I think a rental for me because I liked James Woods at the time, thought he was a good actor. So I rented it, and I really liked this movie. And then it was on like USA a lot or something, and I would just watch it. So before we get into the story, I want to hear, Margot, did you like the movie?
I honestly did. I think it gets better as it goes along.
Yeah.
I think normally I'm not a fan of boxing or boxing sequences. This one does it really, really well.
Yeah.
I found that exciting. It's dark. It got dark a few times, which I didn't expect. It's not as funny as I thought it would be, but that doesn't mean it wasn't entertaining. I thought it was very, very entertaining. Did we mention Bruce Dern? He's great.
Yeah, Bruce Dern plays such an evil prick in this movie.
Jesus
and
Christ.
He's so good at it. He's so good at it. What a prick he plays. In the movie, he's playing someone named John Gillian, and he like owns this whole town, Diggstown. And the town is obsessed with boxing. It's the home of a like once famous boxer named Charles Mason Diggs, so it's called Diggstown. And he literally owns the whole town. Like, he has all the money. He owns all the properties. So I guess he's basically everybody's landlord.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the mayor or anything like that, but everybody basically reports to him. And he's such a prick. He's such a prick. Should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts with James Woods in jail. I guess he was running like a phony art scam or something. So he's in jail. And while he is there, he is running scams already. He is a con artist. This is what he does. And he's running a like kind of an underground boxing ring that distracts the cops enough so that prisoners can escape. And he has this buddy in there named Wolf, and Wolf is in on it. And his daughter, I'm sorry, not his daughter, his sister is Heather Graham. How they are related, I don't know. Wolf looks like,
let's say they're adopted.
I don't know. Like, he's something.
He was the motorcycle guy in Raising Arizona.
There you go.
So if you've seen Raising Arizona 1,000 times, like I have, it's Tex Cobb. Is that his name?
Yes, it is. Good job.
Yeah.
And Heather Graham is his little sister. So anyway, James Woods' character Kane gets released. I do think this scene is funny. He like gets out of prison and he's walking, and there's this like beautiful woman in front of a car. It's like such a scene for dudes, by the way. The whole movie's for dudes.
It's a male gaze.
It's a male gazy movie, and everything about it is it's for dudes. That's fine. Whatever. Just like Boiler Room, sometimes there needs to be movies for dudes. So he gets out, he's walking towards the car, like no reaction from her. She's just sitting there waiting for him. He gets in, and the guard is like, damn, not even a kiss on a cheek. You know, what a fucking stud or whatever. And he gets in the car, and she immediately starts giving him a blowjob in the car, and he drives off. And I'm like, what a stud. So we also meet Fitz, and that's Oliver Platt. That is Kane's partner in crime. So delightful. One of my favorites in the movie. And he goes to Diggstown, and they're starting to lay their con. They've gotten all this info from Wolf about, like, I don't know, how to pull this con in Diggstown. I don't know if you can hear Max. I'm sorry if y'all can.
Yeah.
Max has thoughts about Diggstown. So Fitz goes to like the local bar where everybody's hanging out, and he just so easily scams these people, like so easily. They're begging him to like play cards with him, and he just takes all their money. And they beg him to play pool, and he takes all their money. He like wins a car off of Bruce Dern's sons. Like, he just gave him a brand new car, and the kid lost the car in a fucking pool game within like 5 minutes of getting this brand new car. Like, what a dope.
Yeah.
But this is all part of the con. Like, then James Woods shows up in the town, and it just all turns into this thing where they decide they're going to have this huge bet where Louis Gossett Jr., who plays a man named Honey Roy Palmer, he's a former boxer, and he's going to fight any 10 guys in Diggstown in 24 hours, and he's going to beat them all by knockout. And then the money just keeps getting higher and higher as the movie progresses. So by the end, it's like a $1.5 million or something like that. And the stakes just keep getting upped every time. Like what starts as like a scam to win all this money starts to become like more personal, and the stakes just get higher and higher because people start getting really, really hurt. People start dying.
Yeah, well, yeah, Tex Cobb, they show up in a coffin.
Yeah.
And he's been shot, and they just open it up in front of everybody.
Oh my God, it's so fucked up. And they're like, yeah, he was trying to escape. And it's like the dude had a week before he was going to be released. Like nobody escapes a week before they're going to release.
No, you make your plans.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all just, it turns out Wolf was never going to get out of prison. He actually knows this deep, dark secret about Bruce Dern. The Dern! He knows about the Dern, who was the manager for the champion boxer that everyone's obsessed with. And he had doped him in his last fight, and it gave him like severe brain damage. And now he's just sits in a chair all day. And that's the guy from Ghostbusters 2, Vigo, that's in the huge painting that everyone's obsessed with in Ghostbusters 2.
I thankfully don't remember Ghostbusters 2, except that I didn't like it very much.
Yeah, no, I've only watched it like once or twice, but when I saw him in this movie, this time it clicked. I was like, oh my God, that's Vigo from Ghostbusters 2.
The cutest baby ever is in Ghostbusters 2,
True.
I have to say.
That's true. It's a really, really cute baby. So at this point now, we get like just a lot of like witty conversation between James Woods and Louis Gossett Jr., who I really love in this movie. I think he's really good. I think he's like, his line delivery is really funny. He looks like someone who could whoop all these boys' ass. Like, he's very serious when he needs to be, like, because there is an underlying, well, it's pretty explicit, some racism in this movie that he is, which I had forgotten about. We get a character dropping the N-bomb just to make it clear what a prick he is. And the Dern is also so shitty. And well, let's just start going through the fight, I guess. They're like ramping up their stakes, they are trying to like outmaneuver each other before the fight even starts. So it's like Fitz is trying to pay off some of the boxers beforehand, so they'll take a dive. So maybe Louis Gossett Jr. doesn't have to fight 10 men, really. Yeah, he could fight like 8 men instead. So he approaches these two brothers, and they are, I wrote their names down somewhere. Well, the characters' names are Slim and Hambone. The names in this movie.
Wow.
Wolf, Slim, Hambone. Sure, why not? And they take the money. They're very excited about it. And one of the brothers, I guess Slim is the younger one, he's not very good at faking a fight. And it becomes very obvious instantly that he has been paid off, which really tips his hand to the Dern. And he bullies he tells the older brother, like, you're going to win this fight or I'm going to murder your brother. Like, he's got him like up on a chair, gagged, like hung. It's really scary because,
well, it's also that kind of, I mean, they have a noose around his neck.
Yeah.
That's lynching.
Yes.
I mean, it's you think it's going to be this fun boxing movie,
Yes.
and it's a con, like The Sting or something.
Yes.
So that's where I was going into, and then it goes to that image, and it's really jarring.
Yeah, there's this. Actually, I should roll it back just a little bit because. So there's a couple fighters before this scene happens, and the first guy he kicks his ass, ain't no thing, and after each fight, that's when the stakes start to go up a little bit. Then there's one that they give the brown bottle treatment, is what they call it, where they've clearly like put something in his water and like he's got the worst gas. It's just all like And basically, like, Louis Gossett Jr. gets like 2 punches in, and the guy shits his drawers and like runs out of the ring.
It's so gross.
So gross. Which is, again, like, there's this like really broad comedy in this, and then it's not long after that we get this really fucked up scene where they're lynching this kid, and the brother is fighting for his life, and he's not gonna win. Like, he's not, like, Louis Gossett Jr. is gonna kick his ass, and you know what's gonna happen for him, and it's really sad. It's really fucked up, and like the minute he goes down and he's, you know, they count to 10 and he's out, he's screaming his brother's name. He runs back there, and his brother's hanging. I mean, the truth is, like, maybe they were gonna kill his brother anyway. Like,
right.
And they're like, well, looks like he had his heart on winning the big prize. Like, the cops, like, they're not going to do anything. They don't care. Like,
No.
first of all, he's a black kid in the South.
He's a
They
black
don't.
kid.
Yeah.
Right. And his brother is screaming and yelling because he's upset. He's really, really upset. And one of the cops just takes out his pistol and aims it at him. And I'm like, do you have any humanity in you at all? No. And they don't.
No. And that's when, like, Louis Gossett Jr. gets involved, and like that's when he steps in. He actually comforts that kid and was like, you know, don't, because he knows what's about to happen. And that's when the movie takes a very different turn at that point. Like, that's when it's like, it's not fun anymore. They're gonna beat his that he's going to destroy every single person that steps into the ring at that point. And there's a whole thing where, like, the Dern's son is going to fight, but he gets to wear headgear because he's a precious little baby, and they don't want anything.
Is it because they're in high school, right?
I think they're in high school, yeah. And
I think that's why, yeah.
And they don't want anything bad to happen, you know, to his precious brain that he doesn't use, because, again, he lost his car within 5 minutes of getting it. But Bruce Dern tells him, like, don't even step into the ring. Like, just get up there and look at him and then turn around and walk out. And he doesn't want to do that. He's like, everyone will think I'm a coward. And his dad is such a prick. The Dern is such a prick. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you think. You're going to do what I tell you. And everyone in this movie does what he tells him.
Right.
So,
'cause he's the boss.
Yes. So he does do that. And they're like, great, one less fight. You know, and then the next guy comes in, and I think he just fucking beats his ass, right? Oh no, and he tries like kicking like Louis Gossett Jr. in the dick, and like it's ridiculous. He's going to be disqualified, but Louis Gossett Jr. just beats his fucking ass anyway because he's so angry at this point.
Right.
There's also a whole other thing with, like, they have a little insider mole who's like in the town and giving them all the dirt on what the Dern is up to. He gets beat up and like stuffed in a locker, and James Woods asks Heather Graham, like, hey, will you take him to the hospital? And we never see her again.
This is paper thin, this role. They just said, get somebody really hot and just have her walk around.
Yeah, I mean, she's adorable. Adorable. Yeah. Everybody drinks. She's adorable in this.
She's adorable, but she's also like, it's a dude's movie. And I get it. Dudes are people too. But this is her, this is her job, is to just like,
I'm sorry, we need to get a shirt made that says dudes are people too.
Dudes are people too. But she's her whole thing is like, she works on computers so she can see what the mayor is doing. And then she also takes care of dogs for extra money because she thinks her brother's getting out of jail, but he's dead. So then she's going to help James Woods. And there's lots of scenes of them close to each other, but they don't have a love scene. Thank God.
Yeah.
It doesn't need it. That's,
No, it would have been super, super gross. Like it happened in real life, and that's gross. And it would have been really gross in the movie. They hint that he's like hubba hubba, but nothing happens between them.
And she sits in the stands,
Yeah.
and I have to say, these extras in this movie are great. Like, they're really into this fight. Like, I have this, once again, the boxing scenes are really, really well done. And it could be excruciating because if you're not a boxing fan,
Yeah.
like I'm not,
I'm not either. I don't like to watch
yeah.
boxing, actually.
Yeah, so to get my interest is like it's a pretty tough task, and I think she does it. She's fine.
Yeah.
It's just that she doesn't really. They could have put anybody in that role. It didn't have to be. But I'm sure that's also like, well, we got to have a hot chick in here for him to flirt with. So.
Yeah, and luckily, again, there's no acting on it because yuck, that would have been so icky. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Dudes are people too. That's where we ended up. Okay, then at the end there are like there's one fighter named Tank. His name is Tank. I think you get the idea what he might look like, and he's massive. He really starts kicking Louis Gossett Jr.'s ass, but he does actually beat him. And this is when the crowd is starting to turn now. Originally, they were like, yeah, let's beat the out-of-towners, but now they're all starting to be really impressed with what they're seeing. Like, this guy is taking all these boys down one by one. And he's playing someone who's 48 in the movie. I don't know how old he was in real life. I forgot to look it up. Yeah. I'm someone who broke her elbows walking her dogs. So I have nothing but nice things to say about Louis Gossett Jr. And again, what he brings to the role, he's very serious when he needs to be, very scary when he needs to be. And I think he's very funny with James Woods when he needs to be, because they do have they have a past together where they used to run these cons. And at some point, James Woods kind of gave up on him and they lost $92,000, I think they say. And so he likes to bring it up every once in a while and like rib him that he doesn't fully trust him. Let's see. They were fighting. Oh yeah, and then so there's like what they think is spoilers, what they think is the last fight, the Dern brings in the only boxer who's ever beat Louis Gossett Jr. when he was a professional fighter, and he still looks young and good, and his name is like Hammerhead Hagen, and he is like the Mr. T of this movie. Like, he's still like super buff. He basically shows up and he's like dead meat and like all this, and they fight, and he is just hammering Louis Gossett. It is brutal. Like, again, I don't like to watch boxing in real life either. It's disturbing to me, and I know that it's a thing that people enjoy, and you do you, but it's not for me. But eventually, like, he beats him, like, and it's like a big moment. Like, James Woods is at one point going to throw in the towel because he doesn't want to watch his friend die, and Louis Gossett Jr. catches the towel and he throws it back in the most dramatic towel throw you've ever seen, and basically James Woods almost catches it with his face, like, no, you threw the towel back in my face, and then he just knocks this guy out, and they're like, we won, we did it, and they like it's like, Louis Gossett Jr. and Oliver Platt and James Woods, and they're all hugging. We won. And then they realize that the boy never got in the ring, so that wasn't a forfeit. So now they have a 10th fighter, and it's this badass from the prison, and the prison resides in the county, so it's all within the rules. And this dude's like a monster. Like, he fully has destroyed people in prison, and he gets in like a couple of punches before I'm like, first of all, James Woods, it turns out, has already rigged this and had like bought this guy off, and he does this like dramatic like whistle and tie straighten and thumbs down, and the guy just basically lays on the ground, like, and Louis Gossett Jr. wins. Why he lets him get in a couple of punches first before he does it, I don't know. It seems like a dick
to make it look real.
I guess, but they wasn't gonna look real anyway. So whatever, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. But and then they really win. So they're like, yay, we actually really win. And here we go. The Dern is such a prick. He's like, you beat me fair and square. Oh well. and immediately tries to like bully everyone into doing his dirty work. He wants to like stop them from leaving town and all of this stuff. And finally people are starting to stand up to him because he doesn't own the whole town anymore. At one point he even says, "Get out of my way. You didn't just lose this piece of shit town and everything you own." And he actually like pulls out the cop's gun and he's like going to shoot people. And that's when his son Robbie like steps up and stands up to him. And then he hits him because they just want to make him as awful as possible. Like he hits his own kid. And that's when Louis Gossett Jr. like stops him from like hitting him again. And he gets, just like, "Hey, my hands hurt. You want to do this?" And lets Hambone from earlier knock this guy the fuck out, which
in the
deserves.
where the popcorn wall is. There's
Yes.
like a wall of like popcorn in the thing.
Yes.
In containers. Like I was like, I would not eat that popcorn. That's been out for days. Because I'm a popcorn person. So I was like, nope.
No,
we also forgot to mention there's a whole scene where James Woods is sort of kidnapped in the woods and then they put a rope and so there's like a bunch of hanging references that are really disturbing, but he's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. Like all the stakes are just crazy high.
Yes, and I still really like this movie. I think it's really tight. I mean, it's like a little over 90 minutes. I like the one-liners. I think the boxing is well done. I love Louis Gossett Jr. in this. Again, Oliver Platt is a treasure. It's one of the only movies with James Woods that I like willingly go back to because again, James Woods makes me feel icky, and so I don't tend to go back. Well, I'd watch Casino again. I'd watch Casino.
Absolutely. Would watch Casino
and again, he's really good in the movies he's in. It's just, ugh.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you somewhat liked it.
I liked it fine. I mean, I like I said, I think it gets really like halfway through, it just gets really intense.
Yeah.
I can see though, it's kind of like it is a con for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're not into boxing, I don't know how you market this movie because.
And this movie was a bomb, by the way. It made no money at the box office.
MGM was going through a downturn at the time. So, I mean, because this isn't for kids.
No.
It's an adult movie. Maybe a date movie. Maybe.
Who doesn't want to see a movie about, a guy beating up 10 guys and also there's racism and lynching and a dude with brain damage and.
Yeah, I mean.
It's fun. It's romantic.
It's doing a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But I think some of the things they do really, really well, which is once again the boxing scenes, and I think it's clever.
Yeah.
The script and everything. It's just, and Dern is great as an evil.
Oh
prick.
my God, he's so good at it.
But I think this movie is Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah,
I think he's the whole reason to watch it.
I think so too, and that's why it's kind of one of my favorites. I know that like we could have talked about An Officer and a Gentleman. I'm sure we will at some point. I suspect that one has not aged well.
Love lift us
up where we belong. He also did a movie called Enemy Mine, which I remember really liking.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, I remember really liking that one too. But I don't know. This was the first one that popped into my head. Again, it was a bomb. I looked it up. They had a budget of $17 million. I'm honestly kind of surprised the budget was that high.
I feel like they filmed it next door to the Dukes of Hazzard set.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, obvious. Like they're in the California mountains or something.
I don't know how the Duke boys are going to get out of this one. And all the bridges are washed out. It only made almost $5 million, so it did not do very well. But it did find an audience, a pretty vocal audience on cable, like people who love this movie, super love this movie. And I think you posted that we were going to be covering it, and it was mainly dudes who are like, yeah,
Yeah, I posted on TikTok the
Yeah.
trailer, and a lot of dudes are like, "I love this movie."
Yeah, because dudes are people too.
They're people too.
Since neither you or I are really into boxing, for some reason I still was like, here's some other boxing movies that aren't Rocky, Creed, or Raging Bull. So
I wouldn't know 'em. Go ahead.
let's see. I know for a fact you know like 2 of these. Well, first of all, there's one called The Boxer.
Oh, right. Is that Ron Howard directed it?
No, you're thinking of another one. You're thinking of Cinderella Man.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that one's got Russell Crowe. The Boxer has Daniel Day-Lewis in it. And I've never seen it because, again, I don't really like boxing movies.
I like the song "The Boxer" by Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good song.
There's also a movie called The Fighter. Have you seen that one?
Nope.
That's the one with Christian Bale, Melissa Leo. They both won the Oscars for it. Amy Adams and Marky Mark.
Marky Mark. Wahlberg.
It's a fucking bummer. Actually,
It's a
almost
wicked
all of
bummer.
these are. It's a wicked bummer. Oh,
Bummer.
speaking of huge bummer, $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, no thank you. I watched it once. Good God, is that movie depressing?
I saw in the theater, had no idea what I was in for. I think I saw it opening weekend, so nothing had been spoiled. What a fucking bummer. I know you know this one. It's a documentary, When We Were Kings.
One of my favorite documentaries of all time.
It's so good. It's about the Rumble in the Jungle. And if you haven't seen it, it's streaming, so you should definitely watch it. It's so
Excellent.
fucking good.
Ali Boombaye. Ali Boombaye.
And Ali is the next movie on our list.
Never saw it. Boombaye.
I think you're probably fine. I saw it in the theater and was like, okay. It was like Will Smith's big, like, I'm going to win the Oscar. And
you know, Will Smith is, we already know his hitting abilities.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Ali was one of the most charismatic people. You talk about the Riz that kids talk about. Muhammad Ali was one of the most intelligent, funny, beautiful, strong. He also had an ethical core. And it's just hard to get anybody to play him because he was so dynamic. Like, I just remember as a kid loving Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
And once again,
you
I'm
can
not
take
into
his eye.
boxing.
You can take your eyes off him.
Right. And Will Smith has a ton of charisma as well, but it's just two different things.
Yeah, I appreciate the attempt, my dude, but that ain't it. I was disappointed. Again, that's another one that has his fans, but it was not my jam. A few more. The Champ.
Wake up, champ! Wake up! Wake up, champ! Wake up!
It's got a very
bummer.
Very young Ricky Schroeder in that one.
Might be
John, is
creep
it
one day?
Yeah, John
Episodes.
Voight. Is it John Voight?
Oh, it's John.
Oh my
Voight.
God, that's a creep fest.
We have lots of creeps that have done these movies.
It's a creeperama. And then the last one, 2 more. Against the Ropes.
That's Meg Ryan.
Yes. Oh my God, your memory as these is so good. I didn't even see this one, I don't think.
I may have tried to watch it.
Yeah, I really love Meg Ryan. I appreciate what she was trying to do here, but
going against type, as the kids say.
Yes, exactly. And then the last one is called Real Steel.
Really don't know it.
Okay, that one had Hugh Jackman, and it involved fighting robots.
Remember Rock'em Sock'em?
Yes. Basically, this was Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the movie, is really what it was. I did not see it, but I'm sure somebody will slide into our comments and be like, Real Steel is real good. And I'll be like, if you say so.
Yeah.
So that's our boxing movies.
Wow. Okay. Give me a sec. Do you want to hear about the top 10 songs? It was August. This movie came out. I want to say like the 19th, maybe, or the 18th. And vamping. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Put on the glasses. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Number 10, Tektronix, Move This.
Yeah.
You gotta move this. I like
Yep.
number 9. Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart.
Oh my God.
That was the summer of Billy Ray Cyrus.
You couldn't get away from it, and that mullet, it was everywhere.
En Vogue, number 8, Giving Him Something He Can Feel.
Fucking love En Vogue. Love.
Fucking love them, man. I really like this song, but you also couldn't get away from it. Number 7, Tom Cochrane, Life is a Highway. I wish I could write a song like that, like so catchy that it just plays on commercials for years.
Yes.
But it's never annoying. It manages.
Yes, you're right. It does walk a fine line, doesn't it? It was also remade for the movie Cars. And so for a while, my son was really into the Cars version of that song. So, and even then I was like, I don't know, I kind of liked it. Like, it's a good song.
It's just a chirpy little song.
Yeah.
Like, you can figure out the beats right real quickly and you want to sing along to it. And yeah.
It's very happy. Makes me feel all good and shit.
Yeah, all good and shit. It's not feeling 92. Okay, number 6, John Cicada, Just Another Day. I loved that song.
It was, yeah. That's one I definitely know. I still hear it like in the malls.
It's a mall song.
Because I go to the mall sometimes because I'm old.
Number 5, remember this? Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
Yeah, I love watching that video.
Video was amazing.
So Guns N' Roses made good videos, and that was one of them. I was into it.
Number 4, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back.
A family favorite. My mom requests that song at weddings all the time, and then we all dance to it.
Number 3, Madonna, This Used to Be My Playground.
It's very sappy, but I still like it because I like
same.
A League of Their Own so much.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Number 2, TLC, Baby, Baby, Baby.
My favorite. I've made this very clear. I love TLC so much.
I love all these. And then number 1, Boys to Men, End of the Road.
Oh, God. So I worked at the movie theater that was playing Boomerang, the Eddie Murphy movie, and this song was over the end credits. So I heard it like 5 times a day for weeks. I mean, it's a good song, but I'd be fine if I never heard it again. That's all.
I used to love their song, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye.
Yes.
That video made me cry
It's
so fucking
sad.
hard. Because at one point they have like Jim Henson there. You're like, and he had just died like the
No!
year before.
I can't.
I know. It was
No.
so sad.
Nope. I'm Motown Philly girl all the way.
Yes.
That's the best one. The rest are all
East Coast swing.
they're all too schmoopy for me. I can't.
Yeah. It's makeout music.
Yeah, that's true. And that's fine. People need that. People
Or
need to
slow dance song.
Yeah, people need to slow dance and make out, and dudes are people too. My friend, what else are you dorking out about?
I'm totally into Ripley on
Yep.
Netflix,
Yep.
which I realized when I look it up, people either love it or they hate it.
That's weird. Why would someone hate it?
Baffling to me. It's just an adaptation. Like the original movie, and it's been done many times. This character has been played by many people.
Yes.
I super love the movie with Jude Law and Matt Damon. And even Gwyneth Paltrow is perfect in the part of Marge.
Yeah.
It still exists. You still can have it. They're just doing something different here, and the cinematography is gorgeous.
Yes.
It's in black and white. The guy who was the hot priest in Fleabag is Ripley. And he looks just like the basis for the Stone Temple Pilots.
Yes. Andrew Scott. He is Andrew Scott.
Andrew Scott is fantastic as Ripley.
Yeah.
It's that story. They're just expanding it over 8 episodes. There's who plays Marge? Dakota?
It is Dakota Fanning.
Who I've been watching her since she was a kid, little kid. I think she's so good as Marge. It makes me wish I knew Italian. It's so but it's very clever how they do certain scenes, and it's interesting, and it keeps me going, and the tension is there.
Yeah.
I just think it's great. I do not understand people who are shitting all over it. They're just bombing it with 1-star reviews, and it's like
that's so weird. Why is that? I don't get that. I think
It's
the cinematography, the black and white cinematography is beautiful to look at. Andrew Scott is always fucking killing it. He, Hot Priest from Fleabag. He was Moriarty in the Sherlock series. He just did the movie last year called All of Us Strangers. I mean, talk about a movie that'll make you fucking bawl your eyes out. Like, and he's so fucking good in it. And it's an interesting story. That's why it's been told so many different times and they're doing it differently. I think it's really well done.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not compulsory. You don't have to watch it.
Right.
But it's also not sacred text. I mean,
Right.
if we can, adapt Shakespeare in 20 different ways, why can't we adapt Ripley? It's just an interpretation of the material, and I really like it. And all those oh shit moments that he has, Marge is in the lobby downstairs, like stuff like that. It's like, it really works for me. So I don't know. I super enjoyed it. I also
before we move on to it, I want to point out Elliot Sumner. That is Sting and what's his partner?
Trudy?
Yes, that is their child.
He plays Dickie.
Yeah. Yes, and I think they them pronouns, if I know this correctly. But I was like, why does this person look familiar to me? And I was like, so I had to like pause and look it up because I had to know immediately. And I was like, oh my God, because they look like they just have just enough resemblance to young Sting.
Who was hot as hell.
So hot.
He still is.
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
true. And he's they are playing Freddie in this.
They
and
go by they them pronouns?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. What else is on your list?
No, I also wanted to say, you reminded me, there's a scene in the movie where Marge is a writer. She actually has like a job.
Yeah.
And she gives Ripley her stuff to read, and then you hear in his head what he's reading and what he's trying to fix for her.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like my deepest fear when I give somebody my writing, that it's like that shitty. Like, oh my God, I should have gone through it one more time. Anyway.
Well, it's interesting too, because like we see sorry, the other oh my God, why can't Dickie's? We see Dickie's paintings, and I'm like, most of them, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then we hear her writing, and you're like,
It's pretty banal.
Yeah. So interesting touch there, I thought.
It is, considering like all these people, because he has a trust fund. Dickie has a trust fund, so they can just hang out there and just do that. You know what I mean? There's no, you and I and most people, we have to make the rent. We really want to,
They can do something and be bad at it, and it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And which is kind of infuriating in of itself, because I could see why Tom would be like, you deserve to die just for being a shitty artist after all this time. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
On Apple, I saw the Steve Martin documentary. It's
oh,
a two-parter.
yeah, that's on my list.
It's really good. And he's super talented. Who knew? On Hulu, I watched Secrets of Prince Andrew, and makes my skin crawl. This guy.
Yeah.
Also, Beyonce's album, the new album by Beyonce, is fucking amazing.
It's so good. So
I've listened to it every day.
So I can't. It's so interesting to me. There's like people going on social media with their hot takes, and I'm like, you should just be quiet.
There's somebody. So Paul McCartney. She does a cover of Blackbird.
Yeah.
And first I heard it on Sarah and Vinny, and Sarah, of course, because she thinks she's a rock star herself, was like, I don't know. I don't like the metronome. It's too loud, blah, blah, blah.
Shut up, Sarah.
Fuck off. And then Paul McCartney put on social media and said, I love what you did. Because what she did was she used for her backing vocals are Black country artists. Mm-hmm. When she went to the Country Music Awards a few years ago with the Chicks, there was a lot of shit talk about, what is she doing here? She's a pop star. She doesn't belong here. And
it wasn't just because she's a pop star. They were very clear in their racism.
Yeah.
Her being there.
And she's, Black music is country music as well.
Yes.
She's from the South. She's from Texas, for Christ's sakes. And so she decided to create this work, and brought in all these Black artists that are now getting this platform to meet a new audience.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Paul McCartney said, we wrote this song. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the Beatles, when they came to America in 64 or whatever, they were going to tour a whole bunch of places. And they stuck to the coast because in the South it was segregated and they refused to play segregated places, which is a big stance in 1964.
Yes.
You know, they're from England. They could just be like, oh, we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know, whatever.
So Paul McCartney wrote Blackbird about the civil rights movement. So he puts on social media, like, thank you, Beyonce. This was the intention of the song in the first place. And then somebody wrote, and then some dude goes, well, you know, and starts mansplaining to Paul McCartney.
The fucking audacity.
The audacity. This is, by the way, what women put up with all the fucking time.
Sir, let me well, actually, Sir Paul McCartney, let me explain the history of the song you wrote to you.
I wasn't born for another 30 years, but I know better than you. It's I mean, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, but you really sometimes just shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, yes.
Just shut your fucking mouths, right?
Also, it's okay to not be a part of the conversation too. Just shut up. Like, if it's
you
not
don't
for
have
you,
to like it, but shut up.
It's not. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Right.
That's
but
fine.
At least appreciate the history of what that song is about and what she's doing with her work. And she brings in Dolly Parton and she brings in all these different people. And you have to listen to it from beginning to end as far as I'm concerned. But it's just, I'm always just impressed with her. She's so interesting. And she's just, her aesthetic is interesting. And I definitely want to see her on tour now. Like I might actually go to a concert place and watch her.
What?
I know. I don't go to those. I don't go anywhere since COVID, but I would for her because her visuals, her look, you know, the characters that she takes on and the ideas. I mean, they're just always like A+.
They are, and it's so interesting because then you see that like these jerks who are like, well, actually, Paul McCartney, blah blah blah. But there's also people when they talk about Beyonce, they'll say, well, this is all very calculated, and I'm like, yeah, she put some fucking thought into it. Imagine that. Like
those words are weaponized for her, and Taylor Swift, and Madonna. It's all calculated.
Lady Gaga
like,
or whatever. Anyone who's thoughtful and like about their shit, it's like, well, that's very calculated, but a man does it and it's like, oh my God, he's a genius. Exactly. Like, how thoughtful. This is a whole concept album. What a genius. Let's give him all the awards and throw all the money at him. And women do it and it's like, bitch, please. That's so calculated. Thumbs down.
I know. Thumbs down on all that. It's all to say it's really brilliant. Just listen to it. Ask your Alexa app or whatever and listen to it. It's just really great. And then finally, I'm getting on the TikTok, the beauty TikTok.
Oh yeah, so fun.
Black eyeliner's out, y'all.
Oh no.
And
well, I don't wear eye makeup, so
I wear a ton of it. And
what are you gonna do?
Quite, I switched to dark brown. I think it looks okay. I'm handling it as best I can.
My condolences to you during this hard time, Margot.
Yes. While I'm adjusting, I appreciate that. If you see me in person, please compliment my eyes. I'm learning. I'm adjusting.
You are hilarious.
And that's it.
I love going on Beauty Talk. It's always
good tips.
There are good tips. Like, I don't wear eye makeup, but I do love watching people talk about their stuff. It's very relaxing. Like, I'm into it. What is on my list? I don't remember if you talked about this one last week. I started Manhunt.
I'm going
on a manhunt. I wish that's what no. This is about
that would have been so fucking cool if they used that as a theme song. I know it's a very serious show. But just to be meta about it.
Somebody shot Abraham Lincoln. I'm going on a manhunt.
Oh.
Somebody please make that for us and share it. Like, I want to see it so bad. I was telling Margot yesterday that I started it, and I was like, it's really sad. And you're like, yeah, Sonia, somebody shot Lincoln. Like, don't spoil it for me, Margot.
But it's very well done.
It's super well done.
Halfway through the latest episode, and it's just like you think someone's going to get a thing, and you really know it's not going to happen because Andrew Johnson's a piece of shit that took over after Lincoln was killed. And it's heartbreaking.
Yes.
But you should be talking. It's your thing.
No, it's fine. It's really well done. I honestly, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be into this. And I watched the first one and I was like, no, I'm into it. Like, I think it's like the sets are great. The costumes, like all the performances are good. I think his name is Hamish. Shit, what's his last name? God damn it, Sonia. I should have had this open.
I'm sorry.
Linkletter, who was in Midnight Mass on Netflix, which I loved, is playing Lincoln. He does a really great job playing Lincoln. It's very good. You should watch it. The Steve Martin documentary is on my list, and I also started Palm Royale.
Yeah,
with Kristen Wiig. Laura Dern is in there. Allison Janney. Very entertaining. Like, I want to wear all the clothes. I think that one is.
She's never looked more beautiful.
Yes,
I think Kristen Wiig is gorgeous, and Carol Burnett,
and Ricky
Martin.
Yeah, and yes, there's like so many fun people in it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm only in the first one, but it's because I didn't like binge it all immediately, but I watched the first one and I was like, this is great. I will be watching this. So that is on my list. I also. I am watching Vanderpump Rules for obvious reasons, like everyone else who got in on the Scandival train, which has now led me to watching their spinoff, The Valley. If you are looking for drama, the show is bringing it. It's only like 2 episodes in. It's not too late to get in. You don't have to have watched Vanderpump Rules to be into The Valley. They give you a good intro, like. Almost all of them are terrible people and they're doing shitty things and they're all awful to each other. And supposedly these are people who are like, we're grown up. We've moved to the valley and we have homes with children and we're responsible adults and they're just as stupid as anyone else. It's so great. Again, can't recommend that one enough. I have lots of thoughts and feelings about Vanderpump Rules, and I'm going to be writing about it on my blog. So you'll have to go to my blog for that because I started writing about it last night about how Scandival is not the best thing to ever happen to Ariana. So you'll have to go to the blog for that. A little tease for the blog. And then I am also watching Ripley, and I want to give a shout out again. Elsbeth is back.
Yes, I'm going to watch that tonight.
Yep, it's on CBS. I watched it on Paramount Plus. It's delightful. It's like a Columbo. You see how the murder is committed, and you start she is figuring out why she's the Columbo. She just keeps showing up, and it's like one more thing. The guest stars are great. Jane Kowalski is in one of the episodes. I love her whenever she shows up in things. Jesse Tyler Ferguson is in the 3rd episode, and he is playing. He's basically playing Andy Cohen, and it's like about a Real Housewives TV show called Lavish Ladies.
Stop.
Yes, and one of them gets murdered, and it might be my favorite one of the episode. They've done like 3 episodes. I was like, this one might be my favorite. It was really fun. So I can't recommend that one enough. I really, really like it. And I think that's everything. Yeah. Let's say yes.
Let's say yes.
So, my friend, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find my blog at brooklynfitchick.com. I'm also at Brooklyn Fit Chick for Threads and Instagram. I'm at Brooklyn Margot for Twitter and Brooklyn Margot for the TikTok if you want to check out clips. So go for it.
Follow her on the thing. She's always posting good stuff. Always.
I try.
Yeah. And if you like the sound of our voices, we also co-host a podcast called What a Creep, where we talk about creeps of the past and the present. We've done episodes on James Woods if you want to go there and listen to that one after this one. Who did we do? Oh, we did Diane Downs is our latest episode.
Yes.
From
Small Sacrifices. The TV movie starring Farrah Fawcett. This is the true crime story behind it.
Such a good one. And the one before that, if you're like, I want a Hollywood one, we did Kirk and Candace Cameron, which got us a 1-star review because we're the worst. So good. I love it. Another satisfied listener. You could find me at thesoniashow.com. That's my blog where I will be posting something about Vanderpump Rules. And The Sonia Show on all the things, TikTok, Instagram. Don't go to my Facebook because I don't really go there that often. Twitter, Blue Sky, all those things. You can email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. Send us your requests. We love to do requests. You make it easy for us to decide what to watch next.
Yes.
When you send us requests. So please do. We will be give us your address and Margot will send you stickers. They're adorable. Please give us a review wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yes, please, a nice review.
A nice review it helps us find our people, and it really offsets those the 1-star reviews where they're like, you're despicable. Okay, Sylvester Pussycat, you're despicable. And Dorking Out, past episodes on dorkingoutshow.com and Dorking Out Show on all the social media channels. Do that. Or you can join our What a Creep group. It's just you answer a few questions saying you're not going to be a creep. You could go there. A lot of Dorking Out people are there and they share movie ideas and things like that. So you are welcome there as well. My friend, thank you for talking about Louis Gossett Jr. and Diggstown with me.
It was my pleasure, Sonia. Finally, a boxing movie I could get behind.